Over the last few weeks, we started to see the altcoin market really heating up as Bitcoin's price hasn't really done much. I mean, Bitcoin's kind of ranged between $100,000 and $90,000, not really going anywhere decisively, but we have seen the altcoin market moving. I mean, we've had BGB, SWI, virtuals, and many more absolutely killing it, pushing up towards all-time highs, even in a period in which Bitcoin isn't doing that. And so as a result of this, we've seen one of the most important indicators and metrics in all of crypto, Bitcoin dominance, absolutely tanking. And today I want to talk about what this means for the crypto market, whether or not this implies that some sort of altcoin season is either here or it's on the way, and how we can be taking advantage of whatever is going to happen. And so with that said, let's not waste any more time at all, and let's get straight into it. Now, first and foremost, what I want to do is I kind of want to start laying a little bit of context as to why we're seeing Bitcoin dominance itself falling. Now, first and foremost, what you're going to need to know is, well, Tyler, what is Bitcoin dominance? Bitcoin dominance, quite simply, is a measurement that is taken within the world of crypto that compares the market cap of Bitcoin to the total market cap of altcoins. Put very simply, let's imagine that the total market cap of crypto is $100 million. Bitcoin's market cap is $40 million. Altcoin market cap is $60 million, right? So 60 million altcoins, 40 million Bitcoin equals 100 million total market cap. That means that Bitcoin dominance would be 40%. The reason being is because Bitcoin's market cap makes up 40% of the total market cap. Now, what we can see, of course, as I mentioned before, is that this measurement, this ratio, Bitcoin dominance, has been dropping like a rock ever since December. It had a little bit of a rally towards the end of December, roughly around the 18th, 19th, but it has continued downwards as of recent, and many people are starting to pay attention to this. Now, the reason why we are seeing Bitcoin dominance falling can be very easily identified by just looking at the two total different market caps. So if we look at what Bitcoin has been doing, for example, what you can see is Bitcoin's been range bound. It's been stuck. It had a break to the downside of an ascending structure. It came down into this range, and now it's just gone sideways within this range, exactly like we thought it would for the last couple of weeks. Now, while Bitcoin's price has been doing this, the total market cap of altcoins has had other plans. The total market cap of altcoins had that break to the downside, just like Bitcoin. Of course, it had this move to the downside, that three-wave downwards. But what it's done recently is it's started to recover, and it's recovered faster than Bitcoin has, and it's currently trying to make a breakout of the range that it's stuck within. Matter of fact, if you remove Ethereum from the total market cap of altcoins, you can see that it's already broken out of that structure in which it created, meaning that we're seeing some early signs of breakouts from the altcoin market, even though Bitcoin itself hasn't been capable of doing that. And as a result of this performance, again, we are seeing Bitcoin dominance consistently dropping. Now, the question that many people are going to have is, well, does the fact that it's falling right now mean that we are in an altcoin season right now? Is it altcoin season right now? Well, what I'm going to say is that no, we're not in a confirmed altcoin season quite yet. And the altcoin season can quite simply be defined as a period in which we're seeing extreme overperformance of altcoins compared to Bitcoin, meaning that even if Bitcoin's going sideways, if it's going up, if it's going down, altcoins do not matter. They just go up, 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 and up. No, we're not in that yet, but it definitely could imply that we could be on the way. Let me give you some examples. So one of the main reasons as to why it very much so could be on the way is because of what we are seeing from more of a fundamental perspective. For example, if you see what we saw here from Google Trends. If you just go to Google Trends and you type in crypto, what you can see is that we have been seeing a pretty consistent trend upwards ever since November, which is the same timeline in which we have seen Bitcoin dominance going down. Meaning that as retail investors have started to become more interested in crypto again, we're starting to see them look it up. They're trying to do more research. And as they're doing more research, Bitcoin dominance is falling. This is usually something that happens in the earlier stages of an altcoin season, very similar to what we saw back here in 2020 and 2021. Another very important metric that you can use is something like social engagement. If we actually use Benjamin Cohen's Into the Cryptoverse platform and you head over to the YouTube section, what you can see is that people are now starting to looking up things on YouTube. If you look up YouTube views, for example, you can see we're starting to get this spike as more and more people are starting to watch YouTube about crypto and start looking up Bitcoin and start looking up these things. And what we've come to recognize is that as more and more people start watching YouTube videos and start doing this, this is a good implication that altcoins could start to move very soon. Quite simply, the reason being because altcoins typically only move as a result of retail investment. The institutions aren't going to be the ones that are going to just mass pump the whole altcoin market. And so in order for the altcoin market to see an altcoin season, we do need to see retail investors entering back into the market. And this is a good sign that they are doing so. Now, with these things in mind, from a technical perspective as well on Bitcoin dominance, you can see that we have started heating up. Well, the reason that I say that is you just have to look at the technical structure of Bitcoin dominance. It is bearish right now. Bitcoin dominance was in a consistent uptrend, putting in higher highs and higher lows very consistently. As it did this, though, you remember we pointed this out back in November, and I said, hey, we're starting to see this ascending wedge forming. This is generally a bearish pattern and it should break to the downside. And well, what do you know? It breaks towards the downside. It gives us this low back around 54%. We do bounce back upwards, of course, because all things have to be able to recover and back test. We see that back test in which we see Bitcoin dominance come back to this golden Fibonacci zone, which is just a very big zone of resistance. And then it got rejected off that resistance zone and is heading back towards the downside. And so after a rejection like this is also a very strong sign that we are very much so in a bearish phase for Bitcoin dominance, especially as it has now put in officially a lower macro high and very well possibly might put in a lower macro low, something it's not been doing recently. As you can see, it has been consistently uptrending, even on a macro sense. And this could be one of the first moments in which it does try to make that move towards the downside. So from many different metrics and from many different things that I am seeing, it does tell me that altcoin season could very well be on the way. And it's funny because people make it as if altcoin season is this big mythical event that's like a unicorn almost, and it's not. It's not saying that we're going to see everything going up thousands of percentages every day. It's just saying that there will likely be a period in which we see Bitcoin itself just start running out of juice, and all of that juice start flowing into the more risky assets, because that is what naturally happens in bull markets. It is the natural flow of things. You'll see it in this asset class. You'll see it in almost every asset class, that the overall liquidity flows from the less risky things to the more risky things, the more and more and more we see the market grow. It's just how it goes. I mean, you have to think about it. If Bitcoin's price goes up to $200,000, hypothetical, right? It goes up to 200K. What type of juice will it need to go up another 100%? A lot. We're talking a lot. Whereas if you look at something that's in the top 20 at that point, how much juice does it need to go up 100%? Not much, right? And at that point, everybody's so happy and has somewhat high bullish conviction that they may say, okay, well, I've made a lot of profit. I'm going to pull some profit from Bitcoin. I'm going to go put it into this altcoin because I can make an easier gain there. Sure, they're taking more of a risk, but they don't care because they're getting confident, right? And so as a result of that, you start to see that natural flow of people taking their money from Bitcoin or just not investing as much into Bitcoin and investing into the things in which they believe is going to be able to generate them more gains. That's all it comes down to. It's not this big mythical thing that everybody thinks may or may not happen. It's just the natural order of things. And you need to understand it's a very natural thing. Now, with that in mind, though, and with all of those things I just said, right, the fact that we did get that big rejection here on Bitcoin dominance, the fact that we are seeing all of these metrics coming back, I will say that, yeah, I do believe that the altcoin season very well may be on the way. One other metric I did forget to mention that I actually just remembered is that if we actually go out into the cryptoverse, we go over to historical risk levels. One really cool thing that you can see is this gives you a good understanding of when you're at high points of risk. And if we look at the red line, which is the measurement of how risky an asset is right now, and the blue line being its price, you can see there that on Bitcoin dominance, it's getting back up to those same risk levels that we were at back in 2021, right before we did see that altcoin season start. Look at how we pushed up right around the 0.9 level roughly, right? Which is the same level that we were at whenever we saw the 2021 season start. 2021 was an altcoin season. And we are right around those same levels, or we were right around those same levels that we were back then, right before we saw altcoin season start. And so when you factor all these things in, yes, I do believe that altcoin season very well may be on the way if it's not here already, but it's not confirmed yet. Now, the reason that I say it's not confirmed yet is because we have yet to see the confirmed structural breakdown of Bitcoin dominance. What I mean by that is what Bitcoin dominance has done so far is a good thing if you're an altcoin investor, right? And has started going down. It very much so still could be in a situation in which it still sets a higher low, use that higher low to continue upwards, uses this as a simple retracement, a simple correction. Because you have to remember, Bitcoin dominance will work like any other asset. When you go up, and up, there will be moments in which you need to reset, in which you need to cool down. And then once you're done cooling down, you just continue upwards. That's a card that's still on the table. Now, I'll be honest with you. I'd honestly be okay if that happened. I'd be pretty excited if that happened because it means that the bull market will likely be prolonged. The highs will be higher, which is exciting to me. But it very well may happen. So what we need to see is this get invalidated. The opportunity for this to happen become invalidated. And truthfully, the only way for that to happen is for Bitcoin dominance to set a lower low. It's the only real way that we can confirm this because we have, of course, the lower low or the lower high right here, but that's not good enough. And the reason I say that is let's just go look at what happened right here. Do you see how we had the high, the lower high, we had the low, we even set almost a lower low, right? It was like an equivalent low. And this ended up leading us upwards anyway. I don't know why my voice stopped there. and end up leaving us upwards anyway, that's something that's still a risk here, right? And so in these instances, although it is breaking down and it is getting rejected, this isn't a good enough instance. This isn't a good enough representation of a break of a downwards trend. What we need to see is a lower high and a very obviously confirmed lower low that doesn't immediately just recover upwards. If we can see that, then it's confirmed. Then we are in some sort of macro breakout to the downside for Bitcoin dominance, which would very likely be the earliest stages, if not like those interim stages of the altcoin season. And so because of that, yes, we are in a fantastic spot. Yes, we very well may be seeing altcoin season starting right now, but no, it is not confirmed yet. And that is actually a good thing, because what that means is that although we have seen things like SWE and virtuals and all these other ones doing well, that could just be the appetizer. That can just be a little bit of dip on the chip. That could not even be the main entree quite yet, because we're not even a spot where altcoin season has confirmed itself. We've not seen the lower low. We've not seen the macro downtrend break. We've not seen any of those things. And so this tells me that it's definitely okay to become a little optimistic. It's definitely okay to have a little bit of hope, to say, hey, we might be in a good spot to start, getting in on some altcoins, doing more research on some altcoins. I'm personally not leverage trading right now, but maybe start preparing to do some leverage trading on altcoins. And all of these things could become some pretty decent ideas. So having some optimism in this moment definitely isn't a bad thing, but you can't get too far ahead of yourself. You can't be in a spot to where you're saying, oh, this is altcoin season, let me sell all my Bitcoin and start buying a bunch of altcoins and start leverage trading on 100x on all my altcoins. No, you don't want to do that. You never want to do that, but especially right now, because we still do need to see this confirmed. We still do want to see this lower low. We still want to see these trend breaks. We still do need to see a bunch of these other metrics climbing way higher than they are right now in order for it to be confirmed. And so with that in mind, again, yes, I believe it's okay to be a little optimistic, but I wouldn't be moving too far too fast. And so with that in mind, again, a lot of good things going on with this, a lot of great movements. And I definitely do, as an altcoin investor, like the fact that we're seeing this change, even if it doesn't last, right? Even if this is only a moment in which Bitcoin dominance does do this and we do start to see it push up, this is going to be very likely the last pump for Bitcoin. This is very likely going to be the last outperformance moment. And then from there, I would expect a mass capitulation and then altcoin season to start from there. And so one way or another, it does feel like it's coming. I guess we just got to find out how it plays out. Now, I will let you know, if you have found the information in this video extremely valuable, I talk about a lot of this stuff over in our crypto school. As you can see here, our crypto school is a place where we have over 1,000 members in, 1,013 members at this point. And we designed it for 3 very specific types of people. So let me tell you who those are. Okay. We designed it for beginners who are just trying to piece together all these crazy parts of crypto and keep a level head during very emotional times. We designed it for you. Intermediate people who have started to build some skills, but are just struggling to take those skills and use them to build strategies. We gave it for you. And the third type of person that we made it for are advanced people who have a good grip on all of this stuff, but they feel like they've plateaued a little bit. They feel like their winning ratio could be a little bit better. They just cannot figure out what it is they need to do to take that next step. We designed it for you. And what we actually do is we take you 3 different types of investors. We give you courses, coaching, classes, live streams, workshops, signals, research, Q&As, content, and more, all to help you develop your strategy. And once you have that strategy, you turn it into gains. And the best part about it is, guys, you get your money back guaranteed. If you don't learn anything, we'll just give you your money back. And it starts as little as $5 a month. And look, don't take it from me. You can go to the community gainer section yourself and see the amount of gains that get printed in here every single day. It's literally obnoxious at this point. 500% gains, hundreds of percentage of gains there, 1,124% gainer right there. We're talking tens of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands of dollars in gains every single day. And look, I can just scroll endlessly. There are thousands of messages of community members showing their gains because what we do works. So if you want to be a part of it, as I mentioned before, feel free to check it out down below. There's a $17 a month option. There's a $5 a month option. The executive tier is sold out for now, but more slots will be open soon. So feel free to go check that out. And if you do want to start trading some crypto today, you can get a 10% bonus on all first time deposits over on BTCC if you do want to start trading today. But with that in mind, I just wanted to kind of go over what we are seeing from Bitcoin dominance. It does feel to me as if altcoin season definitely could be on the way, but we're not quite there yet. So stay tuned, stay frosty. I currently am not doing a ton of trading whatsoever right now, but I have still been DCAing into the different spot bags and into my different altcoin positions that are still a little bit down or barely breaking out right now. But I am not really doing too much right now. I'm just kind of waiting. I want to see how this market plays out. I want to see if Bitcoin breaks out. I want to see if Total 2 breaks out. And once I see these things, then I'll start making much more of a big strategy. And so with that in mind, my game plan right now, simple dollar cost average, simply just buying some spot bags on small breakouts or back tests, and I'm not doing much else. No high leverage trades whatsoever, not for the time being. And so with that in mind, I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. What do you think about this style of video? Did you enjoy more of a research perspective and some of these other indicators that we're using? I can't wait to chat with you down there. I try to respond to every single comment. So leave them down below and we'll talk there. See you later, everybody.